My name is Bob Clements, and I'm a Senior Vice President at Axsium. And while I have that title, really, I'm a workforce management geek. I've been doing workforce management for much of my career, although it might not have always been called workforce management. And for much of that time, I've worked in retail. Several years ago, I moved from the city to the suburbs of Chicago with my wife and my young daughters. And at the time, my oldest daughter, Elliot, was just starting to be aware of people needing to work for a living, and she wondered what I did. I wasn't a fireman, I wasn't a policeman. How do you actually explain what workforce management is to your child? Well, for me, I always knew that my daughter and my wife would go shopping on Tuesday mornings, and when they'd go to the Target for their grocery run that week, Miss Donna was always there to greet Elliot and to talk to Elliot as she waited while she got checked out. So how I explained my job to my daughter was I said, my job is to make sure Miss Donna is there to meet you every Tuesday morning. And while that's a little microcosm of what workforce management was, it's something that really has stuck with my daughter and stuck with my kids, and I think is really a good macro explanation of what workforce management is. It's about making sure that you've got people there to engage your customers when they're ready to be engaged.
I'm Bliss Gordon. I'm the retail strategist at Axsium Group. I come from a long career in retail. My first best job in retail was a guitar salesman. And if you're an aspiring 15-year-old musician, there is no sweeter job than being the guy working in the guitar store. But it's what I found out about myself working that guitar store when I was a kid that I think set me on a career in retail. And it started out, I loved the instruments, and I could be around them all day and learning new things about them and what was new and what was fresh and all of the things that went into amplifiers and effects pedals. But what I found pretty quickly is that I talked with lots of musicians. Musicians constantly came to the store looking for new instruments, looking for new ideas. Sometimes they were beginners, sometimes they were professionals. Every day I interacted with people that I understood around a product and an idea that we were all really excited about. And so when you flash forward through my career in retail, increasingly I've worked with more and more people. Right? As I took on more responsibility as a big box store manager, as a regional manager, as a sort of territorial manager, I found myself acting and interacting with people on a huge scale around interesting business problems, but really around interesting experiences with the people I worked with and ultimately the customers we worked for. That led me to a career in a corporate office as a director of retail operations. And once again, the thing that was so fascinating at that point in my career was all of the things that were required to support that experience of a brand. So no longer just that one-on-one contact, but how can I make it so that my employees in the field, wherever they happen to be, had all of the tools they needed to be successful interacting with that customer. And that's really when I understood that your workforce is your brand. It is integral to the sign over the door on your store, how your employees behave inside it. The reason that we decided to do this ebook is there really isn't a lot of information for retailers as they understand the impacts of technology and the move to experiential retailing. Really, what we see out there is the old retail DNA that reacts to things. And that makes a lot of sense. If you've ever worked in retail, you know that being able to react to a downturn in sales, a hot product, a promotion, a change in the environment, like those are important retail pieces for survival. But the fact is, there isn't that very same DNA when it comes to the experience. Some retailers do it very, very well, but most are still learning. And so we think that we want to arm our clients with a bunch of perspectives on how to build that experience and how their workforce is going to sit at the center of it.
If you're in retail, or even if you're not, you've got retail stories. I love sitting down and talking with retailers about their stories. I love hearing the good and the bad because we all have them. We've all got those experiences where that associate went above and beyond and delivered an experience that you could not expect, but it made the sale. We also have those experiences where we walked in and the place was a ghost town and there was nobody that could give me the experience that I wanted, or worse, the actions of the associate turns me off completely. With this book, I hope we can relate information and ideas that helps our retail reader to create more extraordinary experiences. If after consuming the content that we have on this site, and you can walk out of here with 1 or 2 nuggets that affect your business and help you create more extraordinary experiences with your associates, I think we've done our job.